Okay, we just have to make sure this video doesn't just become me just making lightsaber sounds and oohing and being like, oh my god. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. And yes, spoiler warning for the finale of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I, like many Star Wars fans, are in shock for all of the things that happened in the episode. So I want to sort of go through the episode, but you know what we're really here to talk about. And we will talk about that. Again, spoiler warning, we're talking about Luke Skywalker. So we got to talk about Luke and how that whole thing went. He really stole the show, literally, right? But we also want to talk about Din, you know, getting the Darksaber, being the rightful ruler of Mandalore now, or at least having a claim to the throne is pretty crazy. Bo, you know, looking to get that Darksaber potentially from Din Djarin. Very interesting there as well. But of course, this moment's all about Luke. And look, let's just be real, man. This was mind-bending. This was really, truly something special. And I think that for many Star Wars fans, this is going to be sort of an olive branch to, you know, the pain that comes from The Last Jedi. And look, I know at this point, like, I'm even tired of talking about it. Like, it's exhausting, like, talking about this 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old movie. I don't even know anymore. You know, and the way that they treated Luke Skywalker, etc., etc. But you have to understand that this is still a big deal, and for a lot of fans, it is something that they simply cannot get past. And seeing this version of Luke goes a long way to reassert Luke as this heroic figure. And what's cool about stories, and I've always just kind of loved this thing with stories, is that it's not just that Luke exists as a hero currently right now just on Disney Plus if you go click it and watch it. Right now he is living as a hero in the imagination of a bunch of different people around the world right now. Like, literally this idea of that character and the finesse of a character like that and what you do with power like that and Luke's journey to get there and the wisdom that he shares in this episode. It's all very meaningful, and you know, there's levels to it, is basically what I'm saying. There's levels to it, and I think that they nailed this on almost every single level that you can imagine. The only complaint that I can think of, and I will be interested to see if this is shared out there online, because frankly I've been in just live streams since the episode, so I haven't actually even really seen what many other people are saying. To me, the CGI process or whatever they did to create this Luke, there were some holes in it. It wasn't perfect. I felt like some of the audio felt a little edited, and even the face didn't look perfect. But the biggest thing for me was that it didn't take me out of it. You know, it felt like Luke in the context of the story, and I never got taken out of it, even when he decloaked, which is so important and so cool. So they really took their time here, nailed Luke Skywalker being at this time and in the show, and it's a big meaningful deal. You're going to see a lot of different people talk about this. I'm looking forward to talking to Theory about this on Nerd Theory on Monday, but that's a big deal, and I think it means a lot to Star Wars fans. I know for me personally, they nailed it. I appreciate it. And so, like, beyond even that, like, let's just nerd out about his actual fighting ability. Like, Luke was incredibly powerful in this scene. You know, he just shows up alone, which is totally Luke Skywalker, right? Shows up alone, looking like Luke out of Return of the Jedi, but his fighting style is much more refined than even what we see in the Return of the Jedi movie. So this is a very capable Luke that has been training, that has kept up with his Force abilities, and that is a total and complete force of nature. Force of nature. When he used the Force to crush that robot, man, what a just showcase of raw power. And one of the reasons that is so cool is because Luke in the EU was this character. He was so strong, just like Anakin, right? But there was some confusion as to how strong exactly is the Disney version of Luke, right? Because we don't really get a lot of him, and then we see him, you know, do the Force projection thing. That, of course, was very strong, but Luke in the EU was like a space Jesus, was like God, right? And so this was important to sort of set the record straight and be like, no, post Return of the Jedi, Luke was a force of nature and was absolutely capable of doing incredible things. Now, let's just jump right into the question that's on everybody's mind. Will we see more of Luke? Grogu is now gone with Luke, and so the Mandalorian season 3 and presumably season 4 may not have Grogu at all. Maybe he's completely gone. Maybe he never returns to the fold. Although Din saying "I will see you again, I promise," to me feels like pretty strong foreshadowing that the two characters will meet up again. But we now have one of the most popular characters in Star Wars in Baby Yoda or Grogu, with one of the other most popular characters in Star Wars. How do they not follow that story? How do we not get more of that? It seems like that must happen either in a show, a novel, or something. So that's so interesting to me because we know very little of like what exactly Luke was doing. Is Grogu his first apprentice before he even takes Ben? Does he currently have Ben? Like, what exactly is going on? Also, there's this really cool theory that I saw people talking about where R2 might recognize Grogu from the Jedi Temple. Now, that's pretty far-reaching, but it would actually make sense and could be, like, very cool if that's the case. And, at this point, if you just look at what Star Wars is doing, you can't really count out anything. You can't really just say, no, they would never do a Luke series, because you would have thought they'd never put Luke into The Mandalorian, and now here we are, right? So I don't know, but I would be down for it, man. If they are able to do anything close to what they did in this episode, I would be there for it. But you still run the risk of too much, right? Maybe part of the reason why we forgive some of the blemishes in this episode is because it is just one episode. If we had to watch a whole season of this, maybe the CGI is just not quite there yet. I don't know, but I know that the fanboy inside of me just wants more Luke. 100% more Luke. Whatever we got to do, more Luke. Now, let's shift briefly and talk about Din Djarin, who also handled himself brilliantly this episode. He has a great fight with Moff Gideon, dark saber on pure Beskar spear. That was an awesome fight. I love that he wins the dark saber, and it looked cool just him holding the dark saber and using it. Even though we didn't get to see him use it much with the action, he now is the rightful owner of the dark saber and therefore has a claim to the throne. What is going on with him and Bo-Katan is really interesting. I don't know how that'll be resolved. I don't think Bo is just going to fight him. As we can recall, she was actually just given the saber by Sabine. She doesn't actually win the saber herself in combat. And so she actually doesn't really even have a claim to it at all. Din is actually the one that has the rightful claim now. So I don't know. What's that going to manifest into? Who knows? But it's safe to say that the whole idea of the Mandalorian throne will be the focus of season 3 and possibly season 4 in the future of this character. In fact, the more you think about it, like, that's obviously where the show is going to go, right? And Bo is hell-bent on getting Din to join the cause. What if now Din joins the cause, but Bo supports Din as being the one that must take the throne? That would be really interesting and very cool to witness. So that looks to be the direction that they're going to go with that show. But I've also heard that Katie Sackhoff's Bo-Katan will likely be in the Rangers show with Cara Dune. What's that about? How would that work exactly? I don't really know. So a lot of loose ends there. The other aspect of this, of course, is the post-credit scene with Boba Fett, where they set up the Book of Boba show, and this is fan-freaking-tastic. He comes in and literally caps Bib Fortuna and takes over Jabba's palace. He's now going to be a crime lord, likely. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Oh my god, Boba on the throne. I can't wait to see that show. And I think all in all, Star Wars fans, the more we think about it, we're going to take a look back at this second season and just see all the careful crafting of this sort of comeback story for Star Wars, because this season did so much. You have Cobb Vanth, you have Boba Fett, you have Ahsoka, and you have Luke motherfucking Skywalker. This is absurd that they put all of this stuff into this episode. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not just in the episode. It's clearly not just thrown in there. It is handled with care and dedication by people that love these characters and these stories. It makes all the difference in the world. And spinning things out of that and having that be the flagship thing that sort of, builds your new future, the new foundation, is exciting. Star Wars is in such a different place than it was even 8 weeks ago before the first episode of this show. And it's a miracle, that this has all happened. Wow. Now, I will address a few things that I got wrong. I was really hoping there would be a Grand Admiral Thrawn appearance. I was really hoping we'd get Ezra Bridger and Sabine, and there were reports that such characters would show up in the series. I am going to go back and look at where those reports came from, and I just want to try to understand and see, were there wires crossed? Are these bad sources? Whatever it is. But yeah, I was wrong. I let the fanboy in me get too absorbed with the possibility of that. But, having said that, I'm very confident that Sabine and Ezra are on the table, and they're coming. And wow, think about the care they did with all these different characters in this second season and what they could do with these characters in like the Ahsoka show, the Ranger show, the Ezra and Thrawn show, if that ends up happening. Wow, just a lot of crazy possibilities. So yeah, we were wrong about some things for sure. And overall, the season did a good job of hiding its secrets, which was cool. And yeah, man, we're in a great place as Star Wars fans. I can't wait till season 3. And we're going to be doing a ton of different breakdown videos of all the different theories spinning out of this finale. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. So make sure you're subscribed. And yeah. Hello, Internet. I'm Josh from the Den of Nerds. And yes, 2020 has sucked. That's why I'm calling on nerds from all different fandoms to come together to help support a good cause at the end of this year.
He's never fought us. Not us united.
Suicide awareness and prevention is more important in this moment than it has been in a long, long time. That's why I'm happy to have teamed up with many great content creators and do a full day of streaming, an event we are calling Deck the Hall of Justice. As many of you know, the Snyder Cut movement and Zack Snyder himself have put the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention at the forefront of their movement. They've raised a ton of money for this organization and done a lot of great work. December 20th, all of these different content creators will be streaming and raising money to give to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I will be kicking the whole thing off at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Paul from the Heavy Spoilers channel, and we are going to be giving away the juiciest secrets and spoilers from behind the scenes for all of the coming crazy DC movies, Star Wars movies and shows, and Marvel projects. If you're like us and you just can't help but want to know everything that is going on behind the scenes for all these juicy nerdy things, come on by. Get your question answered by supporting a good cause. We of course welcome you to check out all of the other streams throughout the day and give what you can. Every little bit helps. I think it's going to be a big day, and we are super pumped to be a part of it.